Well, howdy, folks. I'm making a video today about my appreciation of the sounds of silence, or what properly may be called relative silence. As a musician and a lover of music, I find my periods of relative silence to be utterly enjoyable, peaceful. It's tranquility of sorts. Now, the listening of music has been accepted as the norm for some time now. Imagine all the stores that you've gone into and there's music playing. You go to the dentist, there's music playing. You go to the doctor's office, there's music playing. It's like wherever I go, there's music playing. And sometimes what's playing I don't even like. Like, I went into a Starbucks today, like I usually do, get my coffee, and sometimes they're playing stuff I really like, and sometimes they're playing stuff I don't like. So if they're playing something I like, it's cool. But if I'm in a long line, they're playing something I'm not really digging, it's kind of annoying. So I guess the beauty of music's in the ear of the beholder. But I stopped at a place today, and unlike other places where there would be music playing, it was silent. And I noticed it. You know, I went to a large grower of rose bushes. I don't know, as far as the eye could see, there's rose bushes growing. And there was no music, there was no outside speakers, and I'm looking around at the people working, and everyone's happy. It was all peaceful and nice. And I thought, this possibility of being able to work in silence it's not an annoying thing. It's actually more tranquil and peaceful. Because I've gone other places, took the company truck, say, to a big building where they got these trucks in there and they're working on them, and they got speakers up on the ceiling and they're blasting, well, in this case it was, rock music, classic rock, whatever, and it's just blasting, and the audio quality was horrendous. It was like being in a cave. It was just this echoey, extremely loud racket. And it was like, to me, it's annoying. Now, people are used to this and believe they like it. It's like an addiction almost. Constant sound. But there is sound. There's sound without music. I like to treat music as if it's a treat. And I think historically, music has been a treat for the average person. At one time there were no CD players, no cassettes, records, recordings of any kind. People were musicians, and sometimes they'd sit down at their piano or, the guitar or whatever instrument they played, and they would enjoy music. Of course, when they stop playing, the music stops playing, and they go about doing everything else they do in their life without the constant barrage of music. Now, I'm sure I'm talking to some people that may not be able to understand what I'm saying as far as silence, because so many of us live in this constant barrage of music. For me, it's like when I gave up television. It's like I was used to television. It's like television, get home from work to turn it on, find stuff, whatever it is, got to find something. I could watch television for hours and hours, all night long. I could do it every day. It was like a natural thing. Once you stop and realize there's more to life than television, the same thing happens with music. I find total peace, and it's a wonderful feeling, in silence, because in the silence there's other sounds. You're never in a vacuum of sound deprivation, kind of. I don't know how to put it, but there's always sound. You could be sitting outside. Now, some people, they go outside and take a portable radio out. The whole time they're sitting outside, music's blasting. They get in their car. First thing they do, turn the radio on. I had one friend, boy, this was annoying. This guy insisted on having the radio on, even if there was two stations competing with each other to be heard. There's one station weaving in and out with another station, and this guy was oblivious. It's like this is an addiction. The sound, the music, the constant chitter chatter of human-oriented noise and sound. Man, I'd shut the radio off in my friend's car, and he'd be like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I don't want to listen to two stations playing. I hear two different songs." It was crazy. There was a composer that tried to create this effect, Charles Ives. He wrote a couple pieces where it was like there'd be music playing, part of the orchestra, and the other part would be playing something totally different. As much as I love a lot of the music of Charles Ives, listening to those certain pieces, which were done for an effect, is kind of annoying. and Charles Ives is one of my favorite composers for some of the wonderful stuff he composed. So, I mean, if I'm sitting outside, there's the sound of the birds. There's the sound of the wind blowing through the trees. The sound of the leaves rustling from the wind. The sound of squirrels. Of course, if you live near traffic, you hear the cars going by, but there's always sound. You might hear the sound of a squirrel, just 20 feet away. It's something, you hear something on the ground, there's something happening. It's a squirrel maybe doing something. There's sound and there's interesting things. If you're totally addicted to constant sound, it's like you're losing out on hearing the sounds of nature, the sounds that come with being in the world. Because your mind is constantly focused or directed into this human element of human-created sound. Well, I practically never drive and listen to the radio. Actually, it was a treat. The other day, they where I work, they started getting trucks, finally, with CD players. So, I mean, I got like 285 CDs of lots of my favorite music that I almost never listen to, but I love the stuff. So I took a handful of CDs to work, and it was a treat to listen to this stuff. It was like beautiful. Then after I listened to it all, it's like I turned it off, and there was the beauty of silence again. So I think a lot of us need to, well, you can do whatever you want, but if you can appreciate silence, even in a working atmosphere, I'd love to go in a store where the music is not playing. And there's going to be some people acting like they miss it, but, You don't have to miss it. Life goes on. See you.